Okay, so now I'd like to introduce you guys to Mary Huss, who is the publisher of the San Francisco Business Times and Silicon Valley Business Journal. Mary, give it up for Mary!
Thank you, Tuan. And Jim, thank you for your kind remarks earlier. And welcome to all of you. And thanks for being here to support the Bay Area Council. It's so great to be back live. This is always the event of the year. So it is again that. So thank you. And thanks for being here to celebrate our inspiring Hall of Fame honorees. Congratulations, James, Jennifer, and John. You represent the best of a region that is the envy of the world. So it truly, let's do applaud that. It has been a privilege and a pleasure to be chair these past 2 years, and an honor to have followed the late Bernard Tyson, who died just days before he would have handed me the gavel. He meant so much to the Bay Area Council and me, and I just want to thank him one more time for his leadership and for encouraging me to be chair. And Denise, kind of the honor of my life. It's been a lot of fun, believe it or not, doing this by Zoom. The resilience, tenacity, and entrepreneurial spirit and results produced by Jim Wunderman and the incredible Bay Area Council team is what makes me proudest of my 2 years as chair. This team navigated the hurdles of COVID, remote work, financial uncertainty, and multiple challenges with dedication, smarts, grit, and determination, and came out better for it. The two significant things that happened early in my time as chair. John Grubb, kind of Jim's amazing number 2, pitched his bold vision to buy this historic ferry boat, like right when I was named chair. And it sort of took my breath away. But after much vetting and gnashing of my teeth, we bought the boat in February of 2020. And then the second big thing, just a couple weeks later, COVID and an abrupt shutdown and pivot to remote work. So it's kind of a scary time to be a nonprofit that just shelled out a lot of cash for a boat. But you know what? It's going to turn out to be the best decision. You'll hear more about it. It's fast forward. It's well underway. I'm really proud of the determination and kind of the village that formed around making it happen. It's transformative. So I'm also especially proud of how well the council weathered what could have been a financial crisis, a very active finance committee, and a very great CFO helped steer the financial ship, and it stayed rock solid. And that was also, as Jim said, due to all of you and the great support. And I will tell you, this council delivered more value to members and sponsors and supporters than ever before, and will continue to do so. So much was learned. So one other thing that I am proud of, and it's Jim, he is the ultimate entrepreneur, is to address a growing concern about the exodus of companies and talent, some of the best and the brightest, to places like Texas. Just not right. So, you know, with the support of the board, Jim took bold action, and essentially he's launched a startup with the Bay Area Council's blessing, and Clint Riley is chairing that effort, and that too will be transformative. Through it all, the dedicated team and board stayed focused on key priorities. We never really celebrated the 75th, so this is 75 plus 1. But I can tell you this council is so well positioned for the next 75 years. I want to thank the incredible, engaged executive committee for its leadership, dedication, and support. I mean, what a group. And I want to thank the village of past chairs that so actively continue to support Jim and the council. Actually, Michael Covarrubias, his advice to me was that this is going to be the best night of my life because I'm passing that gavel. But nonetheless, this group stays engaged, and I'm really proud to join that group. We are so fortunate that our next chair is Kaushik Rajgopal. As Jim said, exactly the right leader to take us to the next level, and already hard at work doing that. Kaushik spent 15 years as a top global executive for McKinsey & Company. He's a global technology and thought leader, very brilliant. Earlier this year, he switched jobs on us. We kind of voted him in, and then he switched jobs. But wow, he's Executive Vice President and Chief Human Resources Officer for PayPal, and we're so excited to have all of that expertise. Kaushik already has jumped in with fresh energy, wise counsel, wisdom, and an engaging and inspiring leadership style. In his time serving as president of the Bay Area Council Economic Institute Board, as well as his time on this board, he's so prepared for great leadership and this role as chair. Kaushik, congratulations. I wish you much success. We all are here to support you collectively. I know that you share my admiration and appreciation for the great team at the Bay Area Council. Please join me in welcoming and congratulating our new Bay Area Council Chair, Kaushik Rajgopal. This is supposed to be the most exciting moment of my life. Get away from you.
Legend has it that all Bay Area Council chairs speak softly and carry a big gavel. So I'm delighted to continue that tradition. Mary. Let me set this gavel down in a stable manner. No, it's fine.
No, he does not want me to take it back. Okay.
It's often observed of leadership that leaders come into office with great plans, and then they have to deal with the crisis that arrives at their doorstep. And Mary dealt with a once-in-a-generation pandemic on behalf of all of us at the Bay Area Council. She did it with focus, resilience, and grace. Thank you, Mary. Feels like Throwback Thursday. Alex Maron told me that there have been 27 Bay Area Business Hall of Fame dinners. And of this, I'm certain, no Bay Area Council chair has stood in front of the Hall of Fame dinner audience and meant this more than me. It is wonderful to see all of you in person. I just want to begin by saying thanks to several individuals and to all of you. First, thanks to Mary, as I said, for being a wonderful chair during an extraordinarily difficult period for the council, and as Jim said, to enable it to not just survive, but thrive. I want to say thanks to Jim Wunderman and the Bay Area Council staff. They're the engine that powers all of us and makes a noble mission possible and viable to make this region wonderful for all of us to live in and work. I want to thank Kaiser Permanente, our lead sponsor for this event, and I want to say thanks to all of our generous sponsors that you'll see on the screens in the room. And finally, I want to thank all of you for joining us to remind ourselves of what it's like to touch, feel, and be in the company of other human beings after 20 months of a pandemic. Thank you. It's my privilege to step into the role of chair of a wonderful organization that has a 76-year legacy of combining civic engagement from the business community with active support, engagement, and leadership from members and partners, including academia, labor, government, nonprofit, and other leaders, to advance a noble cause, to make this region the best place in the world to live and work. Over the next few years, I see at least 3 big opportunities for the council that I hope to partner with all of you, with the board and the executive committee on to advance. The first is to stay focused and double down on much work that we have to do on our key policy priorities: increasing housing supply, addressing homelessness, improving affordable housing, strengthening transportation, and climate resilience. The second is to weave racial, gender, and economic equity into the fabric of all the work that we do. For decades, this region has led the world on growth and innovation. It is our obligation to ensure for future generations that the growth we generate is also sustainable and inclusive. And finally, as we emerge from a pandemic, we also have a once-in-a-generation opportunity to shape what a more sustainable and inclusive future of work looks like. From a living wage to what the new morning commute may or may not be, to figuring out what hybrid work means. We have a special opportunity to show the world and lead the world in that mission. I could not be more excited to engage on these three and several other priorities with all of you. Thank you for coming and enjoy the evening.